If John Elway can win the Super Bowl, if Dale Earnhardt can win the Daytona 500, if Peugeot can win Le Mans, if Tony Kanaan can win the Indy 500, then Doug Kalitta, by all goddamn means, could win a Top Fuel World Championship. And after 26 agonizing years, including 6 runner-up finishes, the dream and the prophecy has been realized for the man that has achieved almost everything there is to achieve in the world of drag racing except this one thing. And he is now the NHRA Top Fuel World Champion. We have a whole lot to cover, so let's jump straight into the brackets, starting off in Pro Stock Motorcycle. Once again, it was a Vance and Hines highlight reel. They showed off the 25th anniversary bikes, the new paint schemes. I don't know if that's going to be what they're going to run in 2024 or if that was just a one-off livery, but that is what we got to see when they showed up to the World Finals. And Gaige Herrera, number one qualifier, by the time Q3 rolled around, he clinched the World Championship. I believe it was Q4. He clinched the World Championship. Gaige Herrera, in his first season with Vance and Hines, is now the Pro Stock Motorcycle Championship. And his number one qualifier against Blaine Hale takes care of him in the round number 2 against Ellie Tonga, making a return. Defeats him. They go up against Steve Johnson, who had to beat Angie Smith. Angie Smith making a return to Pro Stock Motorcycle. Not exactly a really representative run. It was kind of just, I guess, getting the cobwebs off, trying to finish the season as strong as she could in the points, so that way she can go into 2024 and be prepared to try and get back on it. She was cleared by the NHRA, she was cleared by her doctors, she was good to get on the bike, and she made the attempt, qualified in number 4, no, she qualified in number 13. Kelly Collins qualified number 4. She was the highlight of the weekend in that class because of the fact that she fell off the bike. She had to end up going to the hospital. She got released the same night, came back to the track, but that was during the Saturday session, so they didn't have time to get the bike turned around, so she was done, giving Angie the bye into round number 2. So Angie makes it to round number 2, loses Steve Johnson. Steve Johnson loses to Gaige into this final round, and that's where he met up with his teammate once again, Eddie Krawiec, coming into the event. Eddie Krawiec enters in as the number 7 qualifier. Or number 3 qualifier. He enters in the number 3 qualifier. Faces off against Chris Brostick in round number 1. Takes care of him. Goes on to face Mark Ingerson. Defeats him. Goes on to Eddie Hector Arana Jr. And it was an all Vance and Hines final. We saw a staging duel in the final round. But Gaige Herrera gets his 11th win of his season, of his career, and wins the Top Fuel World title. He doubles up in Vegas in Pro Stock. It entered in that it was pretty much a done deal that Erica Enders was going to win the championship. She hadn't really needed to do much, only needed to make it past, I believe, the first round, and she clinched the title. She did that. Erica Enders, in an incredible upset for her, she wins her 6th World Championship, breaking the tie with Greg Anderson, now tying Greg Anderson's mentor, Warren Johnson, as the 6-time World Champion. And if you asked me, by the midway point of the season, I would have thought she would have been too far out of it to go and try and win this championship. By the time we got to around Chicago and Bristol, she was 14th in the points. She struggled to make it out of the first round all season long. It looked like this was going to be the year that KB Titan was going to win another championship. It looked like it was either Matt Harford or Dallas Glenn. That fell apart. By the time the countdown started, neither of them were really anywhere to be found. It was Greg Anderson versus Erica Enders again, and it came all the way down to the final round. Greg Anderson did everything he needed to get it done. Qualifies number 1, face off against Mason McGahey, takes care of him to go face Bo Butner. Moves into the semifinals against Aaron Stainfield. That's where his luck runs out. He had already lost the championship by that point, but by the time they got there, Greg Anderson looks like he red lights. Aaron Stainfield with 6-5, 6-0 moves on to the final round where he would face off against Matt Hartford. Matt Hartford, his road to the finals, qualifies in number 7, takes care of Dallas Glenn, takes care of Kyle Koretsky, and then takes out the world champion Erica Enders to move into an all KB. It was a KB Titan versus Elite final round with Aaron Stanfield versus Matt Hartford. Matt Hartford back at Pomona, where he started his climb to the championship, where he won back at the Winter Nationals. Luck runs out. Aaron Stanfield, the soon father to be, is a now Pro Stock winner in 2023. In Funny Car, the championship everybody was looking forward to. The 3-way fight between Matt Hagan, Bob Tasca, and Robert Hight was going to be decided today. Robert Hight did everything he needed to. Qualifies number 1, face off against Jeff Steele, takes care of him. As for Matt Hagan, face off against Alex Laughlin, defeats him but has a slower run than Blake Alexander, would lose lane choice. And then for Bob Tasca III, barely escapes round number 1, qualifying number 6 against Steve Densham. Both of them smoke the tires. Bob gets back into it and is able to advance to the next round, but will lose lane choice to Cruz Pedregon. And then in round number 2, in an almost storybook way to finish this championship, a 3-way fight, much like the 2005 championship, which is a video I made leading up to this race. It would play out the exact same way. All 3 of them would enter into round number 2, and the championship would be decided then and there in the exact same format. Bob Tasca II would come in to the first pair in round number 2 against Cruz Pedregon, smoke the tires in that right lane. Cruz Pedregon would take away his shot at a championship. Next up would be the points leader. Matt Hagan would face off against Blake Alexander. Again, Matt struggles as well. Blake Alexander would coast down the left lane and take out the points leader, putting it into the lap of Robert Hight. All Robert Hight needed to do was win the round. He would win the World Championship. Faces off against Chad Green. And then in the moment that nobody thought was going to happen with the way the left lane was running all day long, by the time he got there, it was the final pair of funny car. And in the left lane, Robert Hight loses it towards the very end of the track. Chad Green steals it from him, and Matt Hagan is now a 4-time world champion, just like Gary Selsley won his 4th world title back in 2005 in that very nail-biting finish. Same thing happens here, and Tony Stewart is now a funny car world championship team owner, and Dodge takes another world championship back to their headquarters. As for the rest of the ladders, Chad Green would face off against Blake Alexander, take care of him, and then it would be Tim Wilkerson versus Cruz Pedregon. Tim Wilkerson would find himself back in the final round. It would be Chad Green, who has Dan Wilkerson, Tim's son, crew chiefing his car, against Tim Wilkerson. It was a father-son combo. Chad's son had won top alcohol dragster, and then Chad Green finally gets his first win of the season, a long-awaited win that everybody was waiting to have happen. Happens in the final round. Chad Green wins with his son. Dan Wilkerson wins against his father, and Matt Hagan is a 4-time champion of the series. And then finally, in the ever-exciting Top Fuel class, we finally got to see that come to fruition and got to play out in the final race of the season. Austin Prog, number 1 qualifier, So Strong Pomona, faces off against Ron August Jr., take care of him. They face off against Justin Ashley, trying to keep his points alive. Justin Ashley would have to basically go for a miracle. He would need basically everybody to lose in this round in order for it to happen. Steve Torrance is one of the first pairs out. He moves on, eliminating Justin from championship contention, but Justin would beat Austin Prog, moving himself into the semifinals to face off against Doug Kalitta, the points leader coming into this event, or I believe second in the points coming into this event. After Steve Torrance took care of Billy Torrance, he went against his father in a close nail-biting race there. Steve Torrance keeps his championship hopes alive, and then Leah Pruett barely escapes Antron Brown, and we would see the championship fight come down between those two in the semifinal round. Then in the semifinals, Leah Pruett would take care of Steve Torrance, moving her into the finals, giving her a shot at her first world championship. And then Doug Kalitta would take care of Justin Ashley, leading it to a Tony Stewart versus Kalitta Motorsports final round, guaranteeing us a first-time Top Fuel champion, and in one of the most historic finishes to the NHRA. With Doug Kalitta, with the sun setting in Pomona, with Doug in the same exact lane that he had the 06 title ripped from him by Tony Schumacher in one of the most famous moments in the history of the sport. With Alan Johnson in the same lane that it was done, now working on his car, standing behind him. Doug Kalitta, in his 26th attempt at the championship, finally reaches to the pinnacle of the mountain and is now the king of the sport. We have video highlights to show of our world champions, as well as the final rounds for everybody who got the win today. Let's wrap it up and then close out what has been an incredible 2023 season.
It's interesting, your team down there trying to start a championship celebration, and they got in between Drew and Gaige. Like, get out of the way.
Yeah, they're trying to race. That's right.
They've all got their big Gaige Herrera heads down there.
We got the championship shirts on. They're ready to rock.
How about 102 to 60 foot? 6, 6, 6, 203 miles an hour. Gaige Herrera lowers the boom again. And that run will seal the championship in the Camping World Drag Racing Series for Vance and Hines, for Mission Foods, and for Gaige.
A lot can change in the year of an individual. Oh boy, is that the case for Gaige Herrera. At start of this championship presentation, he's going to get the winner's medal of the championship by the NHRA president, Glenn Cromwell. Ned Walliser is going to present him the track record run that he was just on to make his way to this championship stage. There is Andrew Hines, who has changed this individual's life. Gaige, I mean this in full respect. I'm not sure how many people a year ago knew your name, aside from maybe Andrew Hines. Now you are the name of the class this season. 10 wins, now 14 number one qualifiers, a national ET record. What will the year 2023 signify for you?
I mean, it'll just signify, if you got a dream, you got to chase it. I mean, I had an awesome group of people behind me, even before I joined Vance & Hines, that pushed me to chase this dream. And it just goes to show you have good people behind you, good things come. And I can't thank Andrew and Ed, all of them, Terry, Byron, for seeing what they did in me and giving me the shot. I mean, I never would have thought I would have been up here talking to you about the championship, and it's been an amazing ride. I mean, it's a lot to take in. I mean, even right now, it don't feel real, and I can't believe I won the championship. It's incredible.
Gaige Herrera is your 2023 Pro Stock Motorcycle World Champion.
I like it.
They're gunning the engines.
I like it.
Doesn't seem like anyone's in a hurry to go and stage their bike.
I don't know how big the fuel tanks are, but I know they don't sip that much at idle. We might be here a minute. Craywick throwing revs over at Gaige.
That's respect right there.
Oof. Yeah, that's not respect.
That is getting taxed on the starting line right there.
045, 672, 201 miles an hour. Gaige Herrera finishes the year as one would have expected, and perhaps as he should have. His 11th victory in a season of such domination, a final round record of 50-4.
Gaige, you're now holding your 11th Wally of the season. You were the world champion already on Saturday. You have to think that the rest of this class is going to be ready for you and coming for you next season. What's next for Gaige Herrera?
I already got a drink from In-N-Out, so I'm planning to go get a burger. But all in all, what an incredible season for us. Not only me, but the whole team. Andrew, Ed, all of them. Jay, Ray, Scott, Terry, Byron. I can't thank them all enough. As Vance & Hines, Mr. Suzuki's been on rails all weekend, or all year. Sorry. And yeah, I'm excited for next year. I heard a lot of people are stepping it up. They're changing their program to come for me, and I love it. It's just going to make us drive and push that much harder, and I can't wait.
They lead. Fernando is off the power, and Erica Enders gets to the finish line. Double E meet WJ for the 6th time in her career. Matching Warren Johnson, she is a Pro Stock World Champion. 6.502 seconds, the second quickest run of the round, but history will show that she locked it up here the final race day of the season.
Well, there you see Erica Enders coming down the NHRA champion carpet to be greeted by the president of the NHRA, Glenn Cromwell. That white hat that every driver has been looking for all season and the world medal is going to be presented to Erica Enders, her 6th world championship. Erica, I don't want to put words in your mouth and say that this is the hardest trophy that you have ever earned, but I know it wasn't an easy one. 6 titles. You became the winningest female in all of motorsports this season. For this title right here, what drives Erica Enders at this stage of your life?
Man, First and foremost, I want to give the good Lord all the glory. He turns every single mess into a message, and that's exactly what this season started off was a complete and utter disaster. And, on the heels of a career best season last year, anything's going to be challenging, right? But it took us 7 races to figure out our issue, and I owe my guys all the credit in the world. And the message this year is tenacity and consistency and digging through all of the crap and just prevailing when it matters. And I have to thank my guys for that. Richard Freeman's a tremendous leader that gave us all such a great opportunity starting in 2014 here at Elite Motorsports. The 2 boys on my car are new to drag racing, and I got Connor and Declan, so I'm really proud of them and to give them their first world championship at Elite Motorsports. But for Chase Freeman, Jake Hairston, Anthony Lum, Tim Freeman, all the guys in the crew chief lounge, I don't want to miss anybody, but my sponsors, JHG, Nikki and Jason, Chris and Jackie are here, Matt, Mark Melling, Brendan, they're here as well, Kevin from Gallagher, Skag, Randy and Maria, they're not here this weekend, David from High Performance Lubricants, C-Tech, CHE, my entire family at CHE, they've been so wonderful to me, but I give them the credit because it's through God that I can do all things, but it takes a team of people to do it here, and I couldn't do it without him. But my sister, Amanda, my sister, my dad, my mom, my sister and my dad are the 2 best sports psychologists in the world. My sister's my hype girl, but she works her butt off for me. I know I'm talking a long time, but as a little girl and a junior dragster, this was my dream. And I've not only been able to accomplish it once, but we've been able to accomplish it 6 times. And it's us against the world, and today us won.
Erica Enders is your 2023 Pro Stock World Champion for the 6th time.
He smokes the tires. Chad Green wins, and Matt Hagan is the Funny Car World Champion in 2023. Appropriate that a man named Green hands the Hulk a championship. His first championship robbed in a different fashion. His 4th awarded to him by another competitor's victory. Amanda Busick.
That is the first World Championship trophy for Tony Stewart Racing, and I want to go to surviving what was the gauntlet of Funny Car this season and surviving that moment just there. What does that say about the effort of this team?
I never prayed to my mama, and I lost her this year. And I was like, I don't know what you're doing up there with my brother, but I sure could use some help down here. And we got it. But Robert Hight, Bob Tasca, I want to just really focus on Robert Hight because that guy is incredible. I have so much respect for him and his entire team. To stand up here and wait for somebody to mess up is a shitty feeling. And that's not okay. Like, I want to turn 4 win lights on today, but my guys did what we had to do to have points coming in here this round and do this deal. But just nothing but respect for that whole team and Robert as a person. But my guys, obviously Dickie Venerables, Mike Knudsen, Alice Conway, Tony Stewart, Leah Pruett, the whole deal. All the way. It's just unbelievable that we were able to win a 4th championship. It just shows the grit that these guys are made of. My guys tuning on the wrenching on the car. Holy shit. And glory does go up to God. All greatness comes from God.
Matt Hagan, a 4-time champion in Funny Car, is your 2023 champion.
The final round of the final race in Nitro Funny Car of 2023. Chad Green's out first by a bunch. They get to the finish line stripe, and it's Chad Green. 391.6 on a hole shot, a 33 light, and these guys are going to pig pile themselves on the starting line. Daniel Wilkerson, Dean Marinas, their entire crew. What a fantastic end to their year.
And Brian, he keeps looking in the distance because he knows his team's going to be here at any moment. And Chad, in your 50th race, your son just won in Top Alcohol Dragster ahead of this, and you won this on a hole shot, your first Wally. You are a Nitro Funny Car winner. How long have you waited to hear that?
Well, we've been waiting all season. We've been working hard for this all season. I have to say it's been an amazing season for us, and I can't think of a better way to end it than this right here. And on top of it, my son got the win today, so we got the double up. So there's going to be some double up party tonight, let me tell you. Woo! Yeah! Woo! Yeah!
Alan Johnson standing stoically behind the dragster with his arms crossed. Neil Strasbaugh, Mike Domagala move to the rear of their car, as does Brian Hewson. This is the final of Top Fuel, and a new champion is to be crowned. Into the night they go, and the win light comes on for Doug Kalitta. 367.3, 334 miles an hour. The wait is over. Doug Kalitta is a world champion of Top Fuel drag racing. Connie is on the property. And the man who delivered Doug Kalitta's lowest moment of his career here has delivered his highest.
Doug Kalitta takes the handshake from president of the NHRA, Glenn Cromwell, getting the winner's medal and the race win. The hat presentation by Ned Walliser. Brian, he was beaming with a smile up here before he took that walk down the NHRA champion carpet. You can hear the applause up here. And Doug, this is a moment for the history of drag racing. I imagine there is a community of drag race fans that are on their feet right now. You were greeted by the safety safari as you made it up to the top end with claps. 26 seasons, 6 runner-ups, and this guy is yours. What kept you pushing for this moment?
Yeah, no, it's hard to believe. I dream about this opportunity, and when we're here. So just really hats off to Alan and Brian and everybody on my team, and obviously all the fans and support that I've gotten. So we're taking this baby back to Ypsilanti with Scott and Connie's. Scott's won this thing a couple times, so I'll be wearing it proud.
Doug Kalitta is your 2023 Top Fuel World Champion.
All right, thank you guys so much again for watching. Thanks for watching throughout the entire season. This has been a crazy year to have happen. We started this journey all the way back in Gainesville with the Gator Nationals. Traveled to places like Bristol, traveled to Norwalk, came to Indianapolis, even the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Everywhere in between has just been an incredible year, has been an insane year. We're going to ramp it up for 2024 and beyond. We're going to keep growing this thing until we're told we can stop it and keep going further than that. We have a lot planned in the offseason. We're going to bring back the historic content. We have a lot of plans for that, and we're going to try and filter it out more so that way we have more content throughout the year, so that way you guys can be entertained for you who like the history videos. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. Be sure to share it with everybody you know to spread the word of drag racing and motorsports in general. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Follow me on all the social media pages. MightyMac03 on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads even. I'm all everywhere. MightyMac03 is the place to follow to get every update you need on what's going on with the channel, what's going on with me, and what's going on in the motorsports world. We're going to be at the PRI show in a couple weeks in the convention center. Apparently there's some big news about a Top Fuel full season debut coming next year, new entry. It's always a fun event with PRI. So much hit storylines to go into 2024 comes from that event, and we're going to try and bring everything we can to you guys so that way you're ready by the time we roll into Gainesville for next season. So on behalf of everybody at this channel, on behalf of Kevin and Brody and Lil Buck, this has been Mighty Mac, and I will see you next time.